Hello everyone, welcome back to Pabbly. In this video, we are going to learn how to create Plutio Person on Elementor form submission with custom fields. So I am running a fitness coaching center, and to provide the consultation to all my clients, I have created a registration form with custom fields with the help of Elementor, and I have attached that same form on my website. Now I have used some custom fields in that same form in order to provide personalized consultation to each of the clients. I want that as soon as the client is going to submit that form, I want to add that same client as a person, as a contact in Plutio. So how we are going to automate this entire process? For this, we will have to set up a connection between Elementor and Plutio, and that we are going to do without the requirement of any coding and programming skills with the help of Pabbly Connect. So if you also want to learn this amazing automation step by step, for that you have to come towards my screen. Welcome to my screen everyone. In this video, we are going to learn step by step how to create a Plutio person whenever a new form submission will be made in Elementor, that too with custom fields. So here I am managing a fitness coaching business and I want to streamline the way of handling new client inquiries. So here basically on my website, I have an Elementor form where the potential clients sign up for a free consultation. So to better understand the client's needs, I include a custom field in that form which contains the gender. So when the person is going to select their gender, such as male or female, then I want to add that same person inside Plutio as a contact, okay? So I want to categorize all these clients and the leads with the help of gender so that I can tailor the coaching plans and communication accordingly. Therefore, in order to streamline this entire process, I am going to set up a connection between my Elementor form and Plutio, and that I am going to do without the requirement of any coding and programming skills with the help of Pabbly Connect. So I will set up a connection between Elementor and Plutio in such a way that whenever a client is going to sign up for a personalized coaching, that too along with this custom field that is gender, then immediately that same person will be added as a contact inside Plutio, and in this way I will be able to identify all my leads, all my potential clients, and on the basis of the gender of these clients, I will be able to provide them personalized coaching. Now you can also very easily create this amazing automation for your business with the help of Pabbly Connect. So we are on the home page of Pabbly Connect, where we can reach by tapping the URL pabbly.com/connect in our browser. After coming over here, we can find two options: sign in and sign up for free. So in case if you are an existing user, you can directly click on sign in, but if you are a new user, you have to click on the sign up for free button to create your free new account. Also, when you will do that, you will get 100 free tasks every month to explore this amazing software and to test multiple automations. Now, because I am already an existing user, so I'm going to click on sign in. This is all app section where we can find all the products which are offered by Pabbly. To create this automation, we are going to use Pabbly Connect. So let's click on access now. Here we are on the dashboard of Pabbly Connect, where we can find all the workflows which we have created, and we can also save our workflows by creating different folders on the same dashboard like this. Now to create a new workflow, you have to click on this create workflow option which is given over here. So let's quickly click on that. Here we have a dialog box which is asking us to provide a name to this workflow. So first of all, let's give a name over here. Create Plutio Person on Elementor form submission. So after giving the name to my workflow, here I'm going to select the folder in which I want to save this exact workflow. So you can see we have multiple folders over here. So I'm going to select this automations for lead management folder among the list. Now my workflow will be saved in my folder which I have selected. Okay, now I'm going to click on create, and as we will do that, a new screen will be open in front of us. You can see it contains two important windows, trigger and actions. So what are trigger and actions? Trigger and actions are the two main concepts, the principles, or we can say these are the building blocks on which the entire automation works. The trigger says when this happens and the action says do this. That means the action is the response towards our trigger. So whatever we are going to select in our trigger is going to command the entire workflow, and the actions are going to follow that same command. Therefore, we can have only one trigger in any workflow, but we can add as many action steps as we want. Now let's suppose here I want that whenever a client is going to register for the personalized coaching through Elementor form submission on my website, then I want to add that person inside Plutio as contact. So for that, I'm going to take Elementor in my trigger step and Plutio in my action. When we are going to set a connection between these two applications, we can clearly see that action is going to follow what the trigger commands, because when the trigger happens, that means when the form is submitted in Elementor, then only by using the response the person will be added in Plutio, otherwise not. So after understanding the whole concept of trigger and action, let us quickly start creating the workflow step by step. First of all, to start this workflow, we have to select our trigger application, and our trigger application over here will be Elementor. So let's quickly select that. Then we have to select the trigger event. Trigger event is the event on the happening of which the workflow is going to trigger or start. So new form submission will be our trigger event over here, as we want that whenever a form will be submitted, then immediately the response of that form should be captured, and with that response the workflow should get triggered. As we have done that, here we have received a webhook URL and we have also received some instructions. So we have to follow these instructions step by step to set up our connection. So first of all, let us copy the webhook URL. It is going to act as a bridge for transferring the data of new form submission from Elementor towards Pabbly Connect. After copying the webhook URL, here we have to follow the instructions. So it is saying first of all, log into your Elementor account. As you know, Elementor is the plugin of WordPress, so I'm going to take you towards my WordPress site. Over here, you have to install the plugin named as Elementor. Then you have to create the form over there. When you're creating the form, you can add as many custom fields in it according to your requirements. You can customize and personalize your form according to your choice. Okay, once you will complete this form by adding all the fields, here you can see I have added the fields such as name, email, address, phone number, and here I have used a custom field for my form, that is gender. So on the basis of the gender, when a person is going to select male or female, I'm going to receive the response, and on basis of that I want to add them as persons inside Plutio. Now before that, we have to set up a connection between this form and Pabbly Connect. So how we are going to do that? After selecting all the fields, you have to scroll down and you will see the option of actions after submit. So you need to select that. When you will click on this plus sign, here you will see the option of webhook. So we have to select webhook option over here. As soon as we have selected webhook, here also we can see the webhook option. So let's click on that, and this webhook URL field, we have to paste the URL which we have copied from Pabbly Connect, and that's it. Your connection between your form inside Elementor and Pabbly Connect is absolutely successful. So what you have to do, you just have to log into your Elementor account. So you need to come towards your WordPress site. You need to install the plugin Elementor. After creating the form over here inside Elementor, you have to connect it with Pabbly Connect by inserting the webhook URL like that. And after inserting that, you will simply click on update. Okay. As we have done that, the form is ready. So now when we are going to click on preview changes, here a live form will be open in front of us, which contains the exact fields which we have entered in our form. Now when we have set up the connection, let's go back towards Pabbly Connect. It is saying waiting for webhook response. This means that now we have to do a test submission. And how we are going to do that? By simply entering the details in this form to submit it. So here I have opened the form in front of you. When I'm going to enter the details in this form along with the gender, and when I'm going to submit this response, exact details which I'm going to enter in this form will be captured inside Pabbly Connect. So let's get started. Here I'm going to start with a name, and because I'm doing a test submission just to capture the response, therefore all the details which I'm going to enter over here will be dummy. So here I'm going to enter the name. Let's say the name of the person who is submitting the form is Smart Person. Let's say the email of this person is smart570@pabblytunes.com, and here I'm going to enter a phone number. So let's say the phone number of this contact is okay. Then here I'm going to select the gender. So let's say the gender of this person is female, and when I'm going to click on send, here we are going to see that the form is submitted. As soon as we have submitted the form, when we will come back towards Pabbly Connect, you can see the response is already captured over here. In this response, here we have received the name of the form, personalized coaching consultation form. Okay, here we have received the form ID. We have received the time at which the form is submitted. We have received the phone number of the person. Here we have the page URL. Here we have the name of the person, gender of the person, and the same email address which we have entered. Here we have also received the date. This means that our connection between Elementor and Pabbly Connect is absolutely successful. So now whenever a new form will be submitted by a new client or a new customer inside Elementor, then immediately the response will be captured over here in Pabbly Connect. And by using that response, now further we want to add the same person as a contact in Plutio. So we will move forward. So in order to do that, we have to set up the connection between Plutio and Pabbly Connect. So we'll go towards our action step, and our action application over here will be Plutio. Alright, let's select that. Then we have to select the action event, that what we want to perform. We want to create a person with custom fields inside Plutio. So let's select create person with custom fields, and we will simply click on connect. As we have done that, to build the connection, here I'm going to go with add new connection. And to build the new connection with Plutio account, you have to enter the client secret, the client ID, and here we have to enter the business identifier. So from where we are going to get all these details. So one by one we will enter. First of all, let's start with the business identifier. It is given that you need to log into your Plutio account for that, and you have to go towards your Plutio dashboard URL. In the URL, you will see that if the URL is this, then after / and before .plutio.com, this will be your subdomain, that means your business identifier. So I will take you towards my Plutio account. Over here we are on the dashboard of our account. We will look towards the URL and you can see that before.plutio.com and after the double slash here we have Pabbly Connect test. This is my business identifier. So I've copied that and we will simply paste it over here. Then in the similar manner, you have to find out the business identifier, that is the subdomain of your Plutio URL. Okay. Now, in order to get the client ID and client secret, the instructions are given over here. You have to once again go to your Plutio account and then you have to go towards the API manager. If you want, you can also click on this link, but I will tell you how you have to get that inside the app. So here we will go towards the settings section from the right side, and over here we have the API manager option. These are all the connections I have in my account. So one of the connection I'm going to select, let's suppose this new form submission. Okay, here we have the client ID and here we have the client secret. So let's simply copy the client ID and we will paste it over here. Then the next we have is the client secret. So let's copy that as well. And we will quickly paste it over here. Done. Now we will simply click on save. In the similar manner, you have to find out your connection keys and your Plutio account will be successfully connected with Pabbly Connect. Now, in order to create the person inside Plutio, we have to enter the details in these fields such as name of the person, email address, country, gender, etc. Here we have the custom field as well, by using which we are going to create the person inside Plutio with custom fields. I have taken gender over here, but definitely according to your requirements, you can custom the fields inside Plutio account very easily. Now, how we have to do that? First of all, let's start with the name. So we have, as you know, we have already received all the details which we have to use in order to create the person in our earlier response from Elementor response. So instead of entering the details manually, we will simply map the data over here. It is saying that you have to enter first name and last name separately. So in that case, what I will do, I will simply split the name first of all, because here in our response, we have not received the name of the person in separate fields. We have received the full name. So here how we are going to split that. For that, we have to click on this add action step button and we need to select our action application as text formatter. Text formatter is a feature of Pabbly which helps us to format the text of our workflow according to our requirements. Here our action event will be split text. Let's click on connect. After building the connection, here it is asking us which text you want to split. I want to split the name which I have received from Elementor form. What I will do, I will simply map that name over here. Here we have the Elementor form response. Here's our name. So we will simply map that and done. When we have mapped this name, it has become dynamic. That means with each and every new response, it is going to replace automatically. So when a new response will be captured from Elementor form, then immediately the name and all of the details which we are going to map in the workflow are going to replace with the new details of that new response. And in this way, we are going to automate our entire process of creating Plutio person for Elementor form submissions. Now we'll move forward. It is asking us a separator. What separator? That means what value you want to use in order to separate this text. I want to use a space over here. Just I want to split the name with the help of space. I will simply use the tag given over here to use space as the separator and I will paste it over here. Then it is asking us what segment of the particular text you want. I want both. So we will select all over here. Then click on save and send test request button. And here we have received the name in the splitted format. Here we have the first name and this is the last name. Let's quickly map the details over here. We will first of all map the first name. Then we will map the last name. Okay, done. Then in the similar manner from the Elementor form response, we will map the email of the person and the phone number as well. Then we have the company ID. Here we have the company role. These fields are not important, so we will simply ignore these fields for now. Here we have the status, which will be active status of the person. Okay, if you are sending an invite to this person, then you can also add an invitation message. If you want to assign a role to this particular person, you can also add that. I'm going to enter client as the role. Okay, then here if you want to map the city, you can enter that as well and all other details. Now we'll directly move towards the gender. This is the custom field which I have used. Now to use a custom field, it is given over here that for drop down field type custom fields, use get custom fields action and select the entity type as person over there. After that, map the resulted desired option ID of drop down option over here. Now what we have to do here, we have to add one more action step in between, that will be get custom fields. So here, because I have used gender as the custom field, contains two options, male and the female, and each of the field will have a separate ID. Male will have another ID and female will have another ID. So according to the response, we have to map the data over here so that it could get changed automatically. For that, I'm going to tell you how we have to do. We have to simply add get custom fields action step in between. So here our action application will be Plutio. Once again, let's quickly select that. And we have to select the action event, that will be get custom fields. We'll click on connect. We will go with the existing connection only. And here we have to select the entity type as person. Let's click on save and send test request button. And in this entity type, here we have received the response. In this response, here we have received the title of this particular custom field as gender. And in that title, we have two options, male as well as female. So the ID of the male is this and the ID of female is this. So we have to map the ID accordingly. And how we are going to do that? With the help of lookup table. So in the lookup table, we will map the data which we have received from our Elementor form, and according to the value of that data, we are going to receive the response and it will be mapped accordingly in our further steps. Okay, now here I'm going to give you the example. Here in the response, we have received the gender of this particular client as female. Okay, so what we will do, we will simply map the gender which we have received in the lookup table, and according to the ID of the gender which we are going to provide to the lookup table, it is going to give us the response, and that response we are going to map over here. Okay, we are going to click on this add action step button and we are going to use our action application as lookup table. Let's quickly select that. And then we will select our action event as lookup table only. Let's click on connect. Lookup table is an amazing feature which helps us to get the exact value which we want from the desired response. When we are having different options for a particular response, then we use lookup tables so that according to the ID of that each option, we can get the response and we can use it in order to map the data. Okay. Now it is asking us lookup key. What you want to search in this lookup table? I want to search the gender of the person from the response which we have received. So here we have gender which we have received. We will simply map that. Then we have to enter the label and value. So for the title, that is gender, we have two options as I told you, male and female. So for each of the option, we have received the ID. So first of all, we are going to enter the ID for male. Okay, then we will simply copy and paste the ID which we have received from our get custom fields response. So here in the response, we have the male ID. This is the ID for male. So we will go back and paste it over here in the value. Then we will click on this add button and we will add one more label and value field. And then this time we want to search for the female, and the value for the female is also received. So we'll quickly paste it over here. Here we have the value for female. Okay, so let's paste it over here and done. So now what will happen? Okay, when we have mapped this data and we have entered the value for each of the options for this data, so when the response will be captured from Elementor, according to the gender which we have received from Elementor form response, the data will be mapped over here and the lookup key is going to search for the value. If the data which we have received will be for female candidate, then the female ID will be received in the response, and in case if we will receive the response as male, then the male ID will receive in the response, and that response will automatically get mapped over here when the workflow is going to run in this Plutio field, in this gender field of the last action step. And in this way we will be automating the entire process of adding all the clients which we are receiving through Elementor form response according to their genders in Plutio. Let's click on the save and send test request button, and because we have given the lookup key over here as, so it is going to show us the value for the female candidate in the response. Okay, as we have clicked on the button, you can see that yes, here we have received the response. Here we have the ID for the female. Let's quickly map that ID over here. So we'll quickly map the ID over here and you will simply click on save and send test request button. As you have done that, here the person is created. As you can see, we have received the ID. So I'm going to take you towards my Plutio account. We will go towards the contact section over here. And over here you can see that yes, a new person is created with the same email address and the same name. This means that our connection is absolutely successful and our workflow is also running fine. So after completing the workflow, we will test this workflow once again. I will go back towards my form and I will submit this form once again with other details. And as soon as I will submit the form, automatically without any manual efforts, the person will be created inside Plutio. So let's say this time the name of the person is dummy user. Let's say the email address is dummyuser909@pabblytudes.com, and here I'm going to enter a random phone number once again along with the gender. This time let's say the gender is male. When we will submit this form and we will go back towards Plutio, and yes, here we can see that the person is created with the same details. When I'm going to open this person, you can see that here we have the gender as male. This means that our connection is absolutely successful. So now let's quickly summarize what we have done over here in the workflow. We have taken very simple steps: trigger and action. In trigger we have taken Elementor, and in action we have taken text formatter, lookup table and Plutio, and we have set up the connection between all these applications in such a way that now whenever a new form will be submitted with custom fields in Elementor, then along with the same custom fields, that person will be added in Plutio. So I hope this video was helpful for you. Thank you for watching. Not only these applications, but you can integrate multiple such applications without any coding or programming skills with the help of Pabbly Connect. Now, if you have any doubt, you can reach out to us at support@pabbly.com. If you want to ask any query, you can reach out to us at forum.pabbly.com. And if you have any pricing related issue, you can reach out to the website given over here. Now, if you find this video helpful, do not forget to share it with your friends, and also please like our video and subscribe our channel for more such amazing automations.